Hello and Happy New Year! Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Elisha Bell, but my friends call me E, and here on this channel I like to talk about my vegan life in Las Vegas, losing weight with Dr. McDougall, and my cats. Do you want to come say hi, Ted? They're right there. So today I wanted to recap my weight loss from the year 2022. I actually want to go back a little bit further since I started following Dr. McDougall in the fall of 2020. But real quick, let's go back even further than that. To 2019 is when I sat down and started filming my I'm Done Dieting series. Basically, I have been on a diet from 6 years old to 36 years old. And finally, just over 3 years ago, I was feeling so frustrated. I was determined how to figure out how to just eat effortlessly without having to think about all these things and count calories and worry about different food groups or macros or whatever the latest diet trend was. I tried a lot of those for basically 30 years. And ironically, even though I said I was done dieting, I feel like I was still pretty focused on dieting for the year that followed that. It wasn't until the fall of 2020 when I discovered Dr. McDougall and the Starch solution and maximum weight loss and the healthiest diet on the planet. That's when my life changed. That's when weight loss became effortless. And that's when I finally really started feeling in control of my health and weight loss journey. And that's not to say things have been easy or perfect, and I feel like the biggest lesson I've learned in the last couple years is how much my mental health is what really affects weight loss and how I'm feeling about myself and if I can pursue my healthy habits. Like, it always comes back to my mental health, especially now that I have the data as I've been tracking my weight loss, and I can look back year over year and I can be like, oh yeah, that was a rough time. Oh yeah, I was feeling so good about myself at that point. But before I go deeper into that mental health talk, I will share my weight loss numbers. So back in 2020, I lost 8 pounds the first couple months after starting to follow Dr. McDougall. During all of 2021, I ended up losing 22 pounds. I was down like 28 pounds at one point that year, but then I had a big weight gain in December of 2021. So for 2022, for this winter, I think I even said it in my last weight loss update, like, all I want is to maintain my weight for the month of December, to not have a big 6-pound weight gain like I had the year prior, and I am happy to report that I lost 0 pounds in December. And I'm celebrating losing 0 pounds because I didn't gain weight. Does this ever happen? Like, I can't tell you the last time I went through a December holiday season without gaining weight, so that means during 2022, I lost 10 pounds throughout the whole year. It's not a lot, but looking back at everything I went through and knowing some of the mental health struggles I had, and also knowing the amount of effort I put into it, that's my biggest thing. Once you start eating the Starch solution way, I feel like it is effortless. You do have to learn how to eat that way though and make some adjustments. You have to get used to eating food without oil. Our diet, the basic diet that a lot of Americans eat, we get so used to that oily feeling, that greasy feeling, we don't even really notice it. But once you remove oil from your diet and get used to the way food actually tastes without all that added fat, now I'm very sensitive to oil. If I eat out at a restaurant and it's like, I say it all the time, I'm like, it's too greasy for me, which is also why I do really still try to eat whole food plant-based when I go out to restaurants. But I've also really gotten to the point of this journey that I'm just not going to beat myself up for having a meal out every once in a while. I don't feel like I have to eat 100% perfect 100% of the time. and eat every single meal at home and never enjoy meals out, especially when I want to support the vegan community here in Las Vegas. There are so many amazing vegan restaurants. Some of them are pure junk food and some of them are really healthy. So that's something I'm really looking forward to in 2023, is sharing more restaurant reviews and just where I'm finding the good, healthy, more whole food, plant-based options. I feel like I am finally finding a good balance of allowing myself the occasional indulgence, the occasional vegan junk food. I really try to only have one meal out a week, but sometimes it's two, and I'm not gonna beat myself up for that, because I know that I am 100% whole food, plant-based, no oil when I eat at home, and I eat like over 90% of my meals here at home. So I'm not gonna beat myself up over those occasional indulgences. And this relates to so many other areas of my life where I tend to be all or nothing. I tend to be super focused on my yoga practice and, getting on the mat for an hour every day and committed to meditating twice a day, or I just don't do it at all. I mean, I feel like this has been a struggle in a lot of areas in my life. When I look back on the way I used to drink, totally all or nothing. It was either like a binge drinking blackout or months of sobriety. And it would go back and forth between those two things until I finally said, I'm done drinking. There is just no point for me. And that's a video I've been wanting to film. I wanted to film my 2-year update, and now we're approaching 2.5 years. So that video should be coming in February. So looking back at these weight loss numbers and thinking about the state of my mental health over the last 2 years, I come back to that word balance. I need to find this balance within myself of, yes, pursuing a healthy lifestyle, but not being so obsessed with it that I beat myself up when I feel like I've slipped up a little bit or failed a little bit. I was looking back on my journal, and this is something I have acknowledged in myself several times over the last few years. I'm 99% sure I've definitely talked about it in a YouTube video before, but I have really decided that this is my focus for 2023. This is that deeply and completely loving and accepting myself feeling, and allowing me to have that balance, allowing me to forgive myself for not being perfect, and just flat out letting go of that expectation of any level of perfectionism. I am a human being having a human experience, and I'm allowed to live. There's so much criticism in the world that is so unnecessary. Let's criticize the people who are actually actively doing harm in the world, who are purposefully creating harm. I am trying to create a peaceful life for myself, and I refuse to listen to criticism over simple, stupid things like consuming caffeine. I'm gonna keep consuming caffeine. I will quote Dr. McDougall again when he says caffeine is a very fun drug. So in 2023, I will be continuing on my weight loss journey, continuing to share that here on YouTube, along with meal preps and what I eat in a week kind of videos, and also just sharing more about these thoughts I've been having here about perfectionism and balance, and about going and living my vegan life in Las Vegas, exploring some of those restaurants and just other things around the city. I want to not be so focused on weight loss, but living a healthy vegan life. Like I mentioned a moment ago, my word for 2023 is going to be balance. And that's not just about food and weight loss, but all areas of life. The balance between work and play, and just the balance of being productive and resting, and not beating myself up over anything. Like, I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions, but if I had to make one, it would be that I resolve to no longer beat myself up for anything. I don't deserve it. It doesn't matter what I do. I don't deserve to sit and mentally beat myself up over mistakes I've made. I swear it has been like a major pastime of mine for way too long, and I really want to let that go. I really want to find balance in my life, really specifically with my mental health, allowing myself to have those lower energy days and not beat myself up for it, but like accepting it and knowing it's gonna balance out, because when I get that energy back, I'm gonna have a super productive day. It's like, I swear, it is how it works. I feel very motivated and productive for one day or a couple days or a couple weeks, whatever the case may be. And eventually I need to rest. I mean, it's balance. So I am looking forward to 2023, although I've shared my feelings on New Year's before, that to me it's just kind of like changing the calendar. Like, to me, it is springtime when I feel that sense of rejuvenation and fresh start kind of vibes. Like, I don't feel that in January, which, you know, if we're following Mother Nature, you know, it makes more sense. We're still in hibernation season, you know, fresh start, rebirth, that's all in the spring, but I digress. So thank you for joining me for this weight loss update from 2022 following Dr. McDougall's Maximum Weight Loss and the Starch Solution. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe and be well. So that means during last time. Okay, this is the last time. Weight loss update. Why won't you turn off? Dude. So I am very excited for a new, I want to cut all that. So thank you for joining, and the Starch Solution. And the Starch Solution. Can't wait. What am I trying to say? Be well. That was lame-o.